farmer, friend, singer-songwriter, Lyal Strickland.
And that's farmer, friend, and jack of all trades, Chris Horn.
And we're those Tastebudguys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us one more time. I'm Chris, that's Lyal. We're already drunk.
You're just right. There's no hiding it.
We're hiding
right off.
This episode plus one more. The next episode will be even more drunk. The problem was we took a break. We took about an hour break and just sat and talked, and now all the liquor's caught up, so this will be fun. Welcome to the show. If you guys don't mind, please go over and check out our friends over at Ho Chi Town Distilling. I know they'd appreciate to click. If you can't go there in person, it'd be nice to show them some love. That would help us help them, and that's a good thing. Those, why not? And comment down below. Let us know what you think of them. We'd like to hear it. In the meantime, we had a big discussion about songs about Indiana, and we couldn't think of anything for a long time. And finally, we decided Mary Jane, Last Ask Mary Jane, was an Indiana song about the Indiana boys on the Indiana night. So if somebody else can think of an Indiana song, put that in the comments as well.
I'm sorry, I know you were stalling while I finished that label.
I know, but there's one going on your face that's like making me think this is a bad deal.
So well, you pour yourself a glass, and I'll tell you real quick, and then I'm gonna have to read the whole label. It's way more than I was expecting. This is Alias Rye Whiskey out of Indiana.
Yeah, so it's probably an MGP product, right?
I would assume so. 90 proof. Beautiful tagline here: forgotten names, unforgettable flavors. If I could actually speak that.
45%. Pretty good.
Yeah, 90 proof. Okay. Alias Whiskey. Throughout history, women have fought hard for autonomy, for opportunity, and most of all, for quality. When those rights, such as owning land or running a distillery, weren't justly given, women used their craftiness to claim what was rightfully theirs. Women persisted by using a male alias to deceive those who deprived them into distillery ownership. Alias Whiskey is a celebration of the scrappy, well-intentioned women who paved the way and pushed the boundaries to create a better whiskey.
Yada yada marketing.
But kind of,
it's cool. But
kind of nice. I dig it.
I feel
I just kind of dipped into way more than I expected.
Would you be willing to take any bets on whether or not the person distilling this whiskey was a male or female?
Oh, I'm assuming this is a female.
See, I'm assuming it's probably not, and this is all marketing. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah?
I don't know. We should maybe look it up. I don't know. It is distilled by Rawson Squibb Distillery.
Do you want to look at
Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Since I've got a new phone and I'm really bad with it, I'm going to let you look it up because I keep doing stupid stuff.
All right, you talk for a little bit.
In the meantime, I picked this bottle up. I honestly don't remember where. I've had it sit on the shelf for a while. We're kind of just going through low shelf items, trying to get cleaned up, caught up so we get some new stuff. I want to say it was about in that $40 range when we bought it. I kind of guess this might be an MGP product, but I've never heard of this distillery before. And it's at Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Don't know where that's at. Could be totally wrong here. This might be something that is actually meaningful and thoughtful and has real substance, but I kind of suspect it's not.
You keep going. I'm still
digging. Well, I'll get into sniffing then while we're doing this because I don't know how much more I could talk about the big black bottle on the big black bottle on the middle of the shelf. Okay.
I'm not just.
Is this a straight rye? Because it smells blended as hell. And it's a rye. It's a straight rye. Straight rye.
Straight rye, yeah.
Huh. Man, if you did this for me, I would tell you it's a blended heartbeat. It's very light, it's airy, it's got a little bit of a sour note to it. There's not a strong grain flavor in it. It's really berried. It's not perfumey. No cherry note, no wood notes really to speak of. It's just got a little bit of a earthy, moldy tone under there.
This is going to be such a terrible episode.
Like I said, if this is your first time, welcome to the show.
So I look up Alias Distilling, and it's all just sort of good marketing stuff. And I go, well, all right, let's look up Ross and Squibb. And it says George Ross and William Squibb, 2 distilling pioneers.
Male names, traditionally.
Yeah, I mean, I love this sentiment. I'll just put it aside for a second. I love this sentiment. I would love to know what women.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with
because we've had some fantastic women-led distilleries. Samuel Burton was one.
I can remember that.
Samuel Burton and
Tequila.
Anteel.
Anteel Tequila. One as well. We've had several. The brewing from the brewery we like up in
New Glarus.
The
2 women.
yeah.
Well, New Glarus was one, but 2 women was the collaboration.
Right, the collaboration between the 2.
Oh, let's see. I
Nothing wrong. We like whiskey that's made by everybody, but I just felt like that's probably a pretty good chance that is a
marketing
ploy.
Well, you may be right, and if we're wrong, please
let me know. I don't care if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, but
we'll do it again, or another bottle.
Certainly will. All right, I'll let you catch up on the nose real quick. I'm already onto the tasting.
It's super thin.
That's hard to find something.
I want to put this in like a rye for people who don't like rye on the nose. Like it's not, there's a little bit of sort of juniper situation, Christmas tree stuff going on, but not.
See, I couldn't even get that.
A little bit. But grainy, very grainy. I heard you say that, and I think that's on.
Well, see, I had to dig to find the grainy note in there, but it is there. Now, tasting it though.
Hang on. I always like to go for like a big swish. I like to let it sit on my tongue for a minute.
I've had a couple drinks, so I'll start. It's pretty freaking pleasant for me. It's not quite as hot as some of the ryes I've had, not quite as peppery. It's a little more subdued, but it has a nice grainy burn to it that is very well evened out.
I am going to reinforce what I thought on the nose, that this is a rye for people who don't like ryes.
Yeah, it's really light, really nice. And
you know what this reminds me of, now that we bring it up, is the Sam Burton rye.
Really?
The Samuel Burton rye was such a good drinker, and it wasn't overly punchy in any facet, right?
Okay.
This is of the same ilk, in that like it's super smooth. Like,
yeah, no, that is the key feature to this, is it's very smooth.
I know you and I like bold flavors, so like
General.
when we like, you say what's your favorite rye, I'm gonna pick something that's just like punch you in the gut, bold flavors. This is not that whiskey. This is like a slightly stronger bourbon in a more rye territory. Does that make sense? Like,
Not really. That's good. No, I get what you're saying. I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very nice, very pleasant,
yeah.
which is not typical for a lot of ryes. You usually don't get anything that's been refined quite that.
I guess that's where I'm going, is that ryes are usually, like, if you like bourbon or you like rye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of the two things. Maybe you like both, but like, if you don't like rye, you really do not like rye. My experience of
That's
and so
fair.
I feel like this is one that you could slip in and go, what do you think of this bourbon? And they go, pretty good.
Yeah, it's still got that peppery note back in it, but it's not really forward. It's still fairly subdued. And now the one drawback to that,
It's so light.
it also makes it kind of thin.
Yeah.
With the flavor, a bit like a punchy Irish whiskey.
Yes.
It's like if it's kind of like a rye that you've already had some ice on.
This, I would never make a cocktail with this.
Oh, I don't think it'll stand up to a cocktail very well.
This is a sipper Like maybe on the rocks.
Whiskey sour, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be about it. I say, you know what? It'd probably make a fine old fashioned if you didn't put a lot of sugar in it. If you left the whiskey standing proud and you just used the twists and not sugared it heavy.
I see where you're coming. I still think that it would be thin.
It would be thin. It would, but I think it would taste.
And I like my old fashions like stout.
Same.
Stout and oaky. But all that say, like, I would kind of put this in the same category, like I said, as the Samuel Burton, right? I think
it's good. I would pour this for people. I'll keep drinking it. I think it's actually good.
I'll throw it also in the category of lip service rye. Although I think lip service is more my speed.
I like lip service an awful lot. That's probably my go-to rye.
Lip service has, well, it's aged in wine barrels, so it has a little more going on in the back end. But yeah, pretty good. Good looking bottle.
I love the bottle.
Do you remember how much this worth?
Not exactly. I want to tell you it's probably in that $40 range. It might be a little under, it might be a little over.
I mean,
we're probably talking within $5 either direction.
In my mind, this is $50 is on the high end.
I agree.
At least at this point in time. That's the other thing that keeps catching up with us in old episodes, is how much more expensive this stuff has become. But yeah, for right now, $50 and under, I think is a pretty good buy for this. It's decent. If you don't like ryes, try it. I think this is a good entry point.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's actually, it's not too harsh. It's not got so much going on that you'll be confused about it.
Yeah.
It's very easy and approachable.
Cool.
So,
until next time,
whether it be the alias you're going by,
the food you're eating,
close your word,
people you're meeting, grab a buddy and try something new.